State of the World Flash Report 7 May 2026. The pandemic narrative is back on the menu, this time through Hantavirus, as the ruling class tries to force you and your family into submission through fear alone. The White House Correspondents' Dinner assassination attempt narrative has completely fallen apart. The Iran conflict continues without end, and the white-collar working class will be completely replaced with artificial intelligence within the next 2 years. Gentlemen, things are not looking good. I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say that, so let's just jump into our first story: the new and improved pandemic to scare the American population into submission once more. I need each of you right now to simply destroy your phone by hitting the like button and comment down below, are you in the Discord server, the Almighty Herd Discord server, and a member of this community, or are you not? And if you're not, maybe consider changing that by grabbing a Your Hated Train Like It flag or an America Only patch to keep the news uncensored and to keep the project alive. Thank you so much for doing that. Everything is on sale with the link down below so that each and every one of you can join our Discord community to help keep this project alive and help the Almighty Herd grow more powerful than any of us can even begin to possibly imagine, to give you buddies to train with and to game with. Email me your order number at trenchgrenade@aol.com once you finally decide to get off the fence and help keep the news uncensored and keep the Almighty Herd project alive. Hantavirus. What is hantavirus? Well, it's the new pandemic that the American government is trying to scare you into submission again, but hantavirus is a rodent-borne illness spread through contaminated particles, droppings, bodily fluids, etc. Certain strains have shown rare human-to-human transmission capability. Officials currently state the risk is low. However, if you look at any mainstream media news across the United States right now, you're going to be told that hantavirus is the growing concern and you need to be made aware. There's roughly 5 to 6 confirmed cases, but that number continues to change. There's roughly 3 cases confirmed here in the United States, with a couple people that were not actually quarantined. So what you're going to see probably over the next couple of weeks is a mass hysteria about hantavirus. Health authorities are tracking passengers tied to the outbreak from the MV Honduras vessel that was like a cruise ship. There's currently confirmed cases in Singapore, the Netherlands, Switzerland, South Africa, and the United States. Lucky us. So don't panic, but that's why you have the Almighty Herd at your back. But what you're going to see is, with the previous pandemic that cost trillions of dollars and countless lives, not through the direct loss of the people that were actually killed with the previous illness, but by things that were caused by it, secondary effects. And I could talk probably for a year. I won't bother you with that. But the true danger here is a population that no longer believes the institution. Let's assume for a second that the hantavirus is the worst thing that's ever going to happen to the human race. Well, even if it was, no one's going to believe it because of the $1 trillion and entire generations that were lost through mental illness and direct effects, whether direct or indirect, from the previous quote-unquote pandemic. So we won't get into that too much here, but the loss and the mental health loss alone from the previous one cannot be overstated enough. But we'll just move on, and more to follow on the hantavirus craze that's going on. Story number 2. The White House Correspondents' Dinner story is falling apart. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. There was a canine officer, a law enforcement officer with a canine, that greeted the alleged shooter in the elevator, who had the shotgun in his hand. The canine officer, or the canine itself, reacts to the shooter, and the officer talks to the shooter. Less than 2 seconds later, he exits the elevator and begins his attempted assassination attempt. The narrative here is completely destroyed. This could be a whole 30-minute video by itself, but suddenly all I need you to realize is nobody's talking about it. All the elected officials are not talking about this anymore because it doesn't make sense. And we had a blue-on-blue incident where one of the people that were shot was a law enforcement officer that shot another law enforcement officer. If you watch the video in slow motion, he fires 3 rounds, and one of them at least strikes another officer because he flags the entire world. So just days after the shooting, the quote-unquote mass hysteria attempt, it's already over. The timeline is not consistent. The security response is questionable at best. And all of this is tied to now a ballroom project where they're begging for donations and now saying it's going to cost the taxpayer $1 billion. This project, this ballroom, was supposed to be free and donations alone, and now it's turning out it's going to be a bunker and it's going to be $1 billion to the taxpayer that is already spending $600 this year alone on the conflict in Iran. And that brings us right into the conflict in Iran. If you got this far and you haven't hit the like button, I truly do not know what's wrong with you, because if you don't enjoy uncensored news and content like this that's not bought and paid for by anybody but you, the almighty herd, then I don't know what to tell you. And grab a Your Hated Train Like It flag for your gym or your gun room down below. Everything is on sale, so you do not have an excuse why you cannot get access to the almighty herd Discord server, where we will be playing some Battlefield 6 hardcore mode tonight with the boys. And the ACOG on that game does go hard. The Iran conflict, okay? The third story today, the Iran conflict continues without end. The Iran conflict is growing, okay, and is destroying the United States from within. Tomahawk cruise missiles, JASSMs, Patriot interceptors, THAAD systems, SM series naval interceptors, all of these are at least 33% depleted. Most of those that I just listed are at a quarter, 25% remaining. It takes 1 to 2 years to get back to our pre-war inventory. Gas is at $4.50 a gallon in the United States average, with some states obviously at $6. $6 a gallon for a gallon of gas. And I will be doing a full-length video on this next part, but $300 per barrel is what the President of the United States has said could happen. Projections. Right now it's at $97 a barrel. If it gets to $300 a barrel, I'm going to do a full-length video on this, but it will be actual without rule of law. Like, if we're at 97 right now at $4.50 per gallon, and that's with a lot of money being printed, like I said, a full-length video for the $300 barrel crisis to come. But this was said in such a passing manner that it's crazy. A number of different uncensored other content creators have reported on this, to include Tucker Carlson, who was literally screaming from the rooftop that this is going to be like a diesel shortage, a trucking cost, and all of your Amazon orders are done. Your food inflation wouldn't just be, it would be famine. So I just understand, and I don't want to belabor the point here, this oil crisis that we are experiencing and this Project Freedom that has already failed to get ships out of the area, this thing is bigger than any of us currently realize right now. And it's gonna, if Iran continues this blockade, it's gonna be horrible. The Chinese currency will be the predominant currency. Countries like Denmark are already trying to abandon the U.S. dollar because we keep threatening to take Greenland. It's a nightmare. Let's move on to the last story of the night. And if you got this far, let me know if you enjoy. Let me know if you enjoy State of the World reports. Leave literally any comment down below, and let me know. Are you an MP5 enjoyer? Because I'm going to be doing an MP5 build out video that's coming out with like a Knights Armament rail and some cool stuff on there. Are you an MP5 enjoyer? Let me know down below. And as you guys can notice, the defeating the heretic horde is crucial in your donation as a member of the almighty herd. Let's finish this thing out. The white collar collapse. Right now, quietly, an entire class of workers is beginning to disappear. And it's not so quiet, because 80,000 workers were just let off by I believe, Google 2 weeks ago. Artificial intelligence systems are now replacing analysts, customer service workers, administrative employees, junior coders, designers, marketing staff, white-collar office positions. And nobody is taking it seriously. Entire industries are going to disappear overnight. If you know somebody that's been let off because of artificial intelligence, well, post down below. And at the same time, the Pentagon has hired 8 different companies to use classified information to spy on you. And every time I bring this up, nobody cares. Nobody cares that AI is literally being used to spy on you and also being used for convenience, automation, and optimization, as this is the selling points to it, and why people are just like, oh, well, I can use it to my benefit. I'm telling you right now, we're going to look back at this flash report in a couple years and be like, wow, we had no idea how bad it was going to get. If we thought movies like Terminator and everything were science fiction, well, entire career fields are going to disappear faster than society can adapt, and you're going to see people that are out of work, and it's going to be a problem. And it's already a problem, as 1 in 3 Americans have to use a credit card to pay for groceries. And that's not sustainable. Let's finish this thing out with our most likely course of action and most dangerous course of action. When I go down below and I look at the like button, I better see your like down there. I'm talking to you right now. I don't like engaging with videos anyway, just like you don't, unless I really like the content that the creator's putting out and I think this content is worth your like. And if you agree, hit the like button down below and leave your llama. I look forward to seeing your llamas down below. Most likely course of action. The world continues to drift into slow instability. No single collapse event will occur immediately. Instead, inflation will remain elevated. Fuel will remain expensive at $4.50 a gallon average. Public trust will erode further. Artificial intelligence slowly eliminates white-collar jobs. Surveillance expands quietly. Biological scare will continue to try to scare Americans into submission. Unresolved political incidents disappear from headlines overnight, like the assassination attempt that all of a sudden is gone. The average citizen will adapt to the slowly worsening condition like a frog in a boiling pot of water. You're not going to see a sudden collapse. You're going to see a gradual normalization of dysfunction. Our most dangerous course of action: the crisis begins stacking simultaneously. A larger biological outbreak occurs. Oil spikes towards $300 per barrel. Again, a full-length video is coming on that, probably in the next day or two. I could scream from the rooftop all day that the supply chain is going to be destroyed, and no one's listening. Supply chains will continue to fracture. AI-driven unemployment accelerates. Civil unrest grows. Public trust collapses immediately. At the same time that all this occurs, for our most dangerous course of action, the United States continues depleting strategic munitions overseas. Economic pressure crushes the middle class. Surveillance infrastructure expands, and institutions lose legitimacy in the eyes of the public. The danger is no longer one single isolated event. It's all of these things occurring over and over, week by week, day by day, that I report on them. The danger is cumulative pressure. One shortage, one crisis, one conflict, one economic shock stacked on top of each other. This is how our system will fail right before our eyes. Not overnight, but everything happening at once, because that's what's happening. Everything is happening all at once. If you enjoy being a member of this community, well, consider grabbing a patch to keep this thing funded, to keep this project funded, and get it into the Discord. I don't know why you're not. Get into the Discord. Grab literally any patch and email me your order number at trenchgrenade@AOL.com. And it's a good time, man. We have a good time in there. Not just playing video games, but sitting in voice chat on a nightly basis, talking, hanging out with you guys. It's a good time. Trust me. And you can find buddies to train with and to game with. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that stay to the end, that support this project. I got to take a second to really say thank you. This community is bigger than I could have ever imagined. This community is better than any other community in the world, and I do mean that sincerely. If you go look at other communities, this one is real, and I feel that. I feel it in my heart that this community is like the bigger and better than anything that I could have ever imagined. So thank you so much. I'll get you guys out of here. Have a good rest of your week, and until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average, your hated, train like it video enjoyer that your mom says. That way of it all, I'm signing out. Cheers. Long live the almighty combat llama herd.